Episode 16, One Finger Triple Tap, The Forgotten Soldier.
Welcome back to the VoiceOver tutorial. Today we're going to do something that we don't do very often around here, and that's get serious. Because today we're going to talk about a gesture that is often ignored like a leftover sandwich in the conference room fridge. Now I know what a lot of you are thinking. Isn't the 3-finger tap what I do when I'm opening my email and I accidentally do something weird and my phone flips out and I panic and I'm starting to hammer the screen like I'm killing bosses in Fruit Ninja? Well, yes. Yes, it is. But it's more than that. It is so much more. This gesture is powerful, underused, and frankly, it's tired of being overlooked. So today, we look at the forgotten gesture. And nobody's more excited to talk about this particular gesture than Deiter.
Yes, the forgotten soldier returns to the front line. This gesture does not hesitate, it does not flick, it strikes with purpose.
Oh no. Hope.
He's doing it. He's channeling his inner General George S. Patton again.
When the rotor fails you, when the double tap is too slow, this triple tap is your battle cry. It is the tip of the spear, the flick of freedom. You think a rotor is tactical? The triple tap is the precision weapon. Dismiss it and you dismiss victory itself.
Okay, Generalissimo. While Deiter organizes a full-scale invasion of the home screen, I'll take over and walk you through what this gesture actually does and why it's your new best friend. Let's start with the basics. The one-finger triple tap is, surprise, 3 quick taps with one finger on the screen. It's a gesture that often gets confused with double tapping too fast or with VoiceOver misinterpreting your rhythm. So here's a quick tip. Treat it like a drum beat. Not too slow, not too fast, just a steady tap, tap, tap. If you hear VoiceOver doing something completely unexpected, slow it down a little and try again. You'll get the hang of it. This is what it sounds like when you trigger the gesture.
Fun fact, the one-finger triple tap triggers what's called the VoiceOver Actions Menu. It's like a shortcut to hidden context options, many of the same ones you'd find if you flicked up or down with the rotor set to Actions and then double tapped.
But here's the magic part. The triple tap jumps straight past the rotor and gives you a nice little pop-up menu instantly, assuming the item you're on supports custom actions. It's clean, fast, and a major time saver.
It bypasses bureaucracy and goes straight to the mission objective.
Yes, sir. Exactly. Let's check it out, starting on the home screen. The one-finger triple tap gesture often acts as a kind of shortcut to what's called the VoiceOver Actions Menu. It's the same set of options that would normally appear when flicking up or down with the rotor set to Actions. But the triple tap jumps straight to a pop-up context menu instantly and without fuss.
And one of the places where this really shines, the home screen.
That's right. And when this gesture is performed on an app icon, VoiceOver brings up a context menu with actions specific to that app. For example, common options might include Remove App, Share App, or Edit Home Screen. But depending on the app, there may also be quick access to core features, like composing a new message, opening a recent conversation, or searching inside the app, all without ever opening the app itself.
The Mail app is a perfect example. That triple tap can bring up an option to begin writing a new email directly from the home screen, skipping the usual steps of launching the app, waiting for it to load, and finding the Compose button.
Exactly. It's a little like a backstage pass. Calendar, Notes, Maps, and Messages apps all offer similar shortcuts through their context menus. Once you know it's there, it's hard not to appreciate how much time it can save.
This is not a gesture, it's a tactical maneuver. Instant access to mission-critical actions.
Yes, thank you, General. The triple tap makes it possible to interact with apps in a more efficient, streamlined way. And for VoiceOver users, that kind of speed and control is gold.
So while it may be underused, this little gesture can cut straight through the clutter of the home screen. And that's just the beginning.
Next, we'll look at what happens when the triple tap is used inside common apps like Mail, Messages, and Safari. Once you're inside an app, the one-finger triple tap keeps doing its thing. But what shows up depends entirely on where you are and what you're focused on.
In other words, it's context-sensitive. It reacts to the item VoiceOver is highlighting and serves up a relevant menu of options, like a digital waiter who only brings you what you're actually hungry for.
Yeah, take the Mail app, for example. If VoiceOver is focused on an email in your inbox, the triple tap brings up a menu with options like reply, forward, mark, or move. And the beauty of this is, all those actions are available without needing to flick through the rotor, change settings, or dive into hidden menus. It's direct, immediate, efficient.
One gesture, 3 taps, countless victories. This is what I call operational supremacy.
Roger Wilco, Herr Capitan. Same goes for the Messages app. On a conversation thread, the triple tap often gives you options to react with an emoji, reply, copy, or delete the conversation entirely. And if you're focused on an individual message bubble, the menu might be different, because the context changed.
Exactly. The gesture adapts. And it's not just for communication apps. In Safari, for instance, triple tapping on a tab or a link, especially in the tab switcher view, can expose actions like closing a tab or opening a link in a new tab.
It is the Swiss Army knife of snow commando gestures.
Yes, Captain Clipboard, and like any great multi-tool, it stays compact and out of the way until you need it. These little context menus make VoiceOver feel a bit like a power user interface. You get more done with fewer gestures, and you start to realize just how many shortcuts are tucked away behind that triple tap.
It's worth noting that not every item in every app will support this gesture. If there are no custom actions available, VoiceOver will usually say no actions available. But when it does work, it works beautifully.
And that's really the key. This gesture isn't about memorizing actions. It's about discovering what's possible. Different app, different element, different menu. Once you start exploring with it, you'll be amazed at what's been hiding in plain sight.
The battlefield reveals its secrets only to those who tap with courage.
Okay, Admiral Triple Tap, drop anchor. Coming up next, we'll take a quick look at why this gesture is so powerful in the bigger picture, and how it keeps the interface clean without sacrificing control. One of the best things about this gesture is that it helps keep the interface clean. Instead of cluttering up the screen with extra buttons or permanent menus, VoiceOver gives us a way to access those options only when we want them.
It's a need-to-know basis kind of deal, and for once, that's a good thing.
This means developers can keep the screen layout simple for sighted users, while VoiceOver users still get full access to custom actions, just layered under the surface. It's minimalism that doesn't sacrifice functionality. And for those who prefer using the rotor, don't worry, it's still there. Flicking up or down on actions gives you the same choices. But if you don't want to fiddle with rotor positions or remember what mode you're in, the triple tap is your fast lane.
No kidding. No need to spin the wheel when you've got a button that takes you straight to the menu.
So instead of memorizing a bunch of rotor positions or switching back and forth, this gesture lets you cut through all that. It's like jumping the turnstile into the VIP lane, quietly, efficiently, and with just 3 taps.
Minimal taps, maximum control. That is the VoiceOver way.
Now, fair warning, not everything on your screen is going to respond to a triple tap.
If there aren't any custom actions available, VoiceOver will just say, no actions available. It's not broken. It just means there's nothing hiding behind the curtain.
Some third-party apps don't support it well, and not every element in every app is set up to respond. But here's the thing. Even if it doesn't always work, it's worth trying. Think of it as a quick way to check if there's more you can do. Because when there is something there, you'll be glad you triple tapped.
Victory is never guaranteed, but the brave triple tap anyway.
Touching Brigadier General Overkill? Now pipe down and let Brian take the field.
All right, troops, gather around. Let's strategize about the forgotten soldier, the one-finger triple tap. No, in all seriousness, I love this little gesture even though I forget it all the time myself. It's just a handy little shortcut to get things done quicker and faster. So let's use it in some practical examples. I think a lot of people use it on their home screen the most, so we're going to start there. Not every app is going to have actions tucked away in this little context menu, but many of them will. I'm not going to go over every single app out there, but I'm going to go over some popular ones. We're going to start with the phone app.
Phone, 1 new item.
And do a one-finger triple tap on that.
Remove app, button.
And to go through this context menu, you just start flicking to the right.
Require Face ID, button.
So for any of these apps, you can securely lock them, require Face ID or some sort of security to prevent people from getting into them.
Edit home screen button.
Editing the home screen would allow you to move apps around on the screen or maybe move them to a different home screen.
View most recent voicemail button. Create new contact button. Search button. View most recent call button. Dismiss context menu button.
And then at the end of the menu, you get to the dismiss context menu. So you saw in there, add contact. That's something that we do quite a bit. A little bit of a time saver to get into that contact card real quick. I'm going to show you another use or another way to get into that later. Let's check out the next app, Messages.
Messages, 2 unread messages.
Again, one finger triple tap,
Remove app button.
and then flick to the right to go through the menu.
Require Face ID button. Edit home screen button. Brian Clark button.
There I am, and I'm there because I have pinned myself to the top of my conversation list.
Arbdosh button.
There's my wife.
New message button.
Create a new message from here.
Dismiss context menu button.
And again, at the bottom of that list, you're always going to find dismiss context menu.
Mail, 29 unread emails.
Mail is another popular one, so let's check that out.
Remove app button. Require Face ID button. Edit home screen button. Gmail, 8 unread messages button.
That's my primary email account, so if I wanted to jump right into that inbox,
Flagged, 83 messages button. Search button. New message button.
and there's the ability to compose a new email very quickly instead of having to go in and find the compose button.
Dismiss context menu button.
All right, let's look at an app that doesn't really have any additional actions. We're going to look at Bard Mobile. That's a service through the National Library Service here in the United States for blind people to access reading and braille materials.
Bard Mobile.
And if I access this with a one finger triple tap,
Remove app button. Require Face ID button. Share app button. Edit home screen button. Dismiss context menu button.
not really a whole lot of options there. How about the Settings app? A lot of times we want to get into parts of the Settings app quickly, so let's check out the Settings app.
Settings. Bluetooth button. Wi-Fi button. Cellular button. Battery button. Edit home screen button. Remove app button. Dismiss context menu button.
So there's some pretty cool little options and settings that we can get into quickly without actually having to open the Settings app. And finally, I'm going to show you Safari,
Safari.
because we'll get some different options when I go into this menu.
App icon button. Small widget button. Medium-sized widget button. Large widget button. New tab button. New private tab button. Show bookmarks button. Show reading list button. Edit home screen button. Require Face ID button. Remove app button.
And you can see that that list of choices was significantly different than anything we've come across before. Let's see what happens when we use the one finger triple tap on a link. I've opened up Safari and navigated to a website, the hadleyhelps.org website, and I've got the focus on a link that I'd like to share.
Latest episodes. Heading level 5. Visual hallucinations with vision loss. What you should know about Charles Bonnet syndrome. Visited. Link.
And so I'll one finger triple tap on that
Preview. Open. Button.
and go through the list here.
Open in new tab. Button. Open in tab group. Button. Collapse. Download linked file. Button. Add to reading list. Button. Copy link. Button.
I could copy the link. I can also go past that,
Share. Button.
and I'd like to share that link using text messages.
Dismiss context menu. Button. Hadley Presents. Visual hallucinations with vision. Close. Button. hadleyhelps.org. AirDrop. Button. Messages. Button. 2. Text field. Is editing. Word mode. Insertion point at start.
And I'm just going to send it to myself.
Handwriting. Lowercase. B. R. I. A. N. Brian Clark. Skis earth 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 Neves now earth mobile iMessage button. 2. Text field is editing. Brian Clark. Skis earth 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 Neves now earth now self-attached link. Hadley presents visual hallucinations.
And then click the send button.
Send button. Send message. Messages. Now. Brian Clark. Website. Hadley presents visual hallucinations with vision loss. What you should know about Charles Bonnet syndrome.
So I've gotten the text message. Now I can go to my home screen, and from there, I can do a triple tap on the Messages app.
Messages. 3 unread messages. Remove app button.
And find my name in this list to quickly get to that message.
Require Brian Clark button. Messages. 2 unread. Back button. Your iMessage. Hadley presents visual hallucinations with vision loss. What you should know about Charles Bonnet syndrome.
And now that I've gotten that message, let's see what happens when we do a one-finger triple tap on the message.
Tap back picker. Tap back picker. Hard button.
And I can go through this list of emoticons.
Thumbs up button. Thumbs down button. Haha button. Exclamation mark button. Question mark button. Face with tears of joy button.
How about that one?
Your iMessage. Hadley presents visual hallucinations with vision loss. What you should know about Charles Bonnet syndrome. HadleyHelps.org. 1 image. You reacted with face with tears of joy. Message received from Brian. Brian reacted face with tears of joy. To opening double quotation mark https://hadleyhelps.org/podcast/hadley-presence-.
Great. Pretty cool little trick, huh? All right, before we wrap up, one final demonstration. I'm going to head over to the phone app and find an unknown number in my recent call list.
+1 8 6 8 skis worries off 5 8 income.
Okay, that's good enough. I would not recommend calling that. That was a spam number. I'm not even going to finish the number, but I've got the focus there, and if I do a one-finger triple tap on it,
call button.
Through this list, I can find create new contact.
Message button. Existing contact button. Create new contact button.
And activate that.
Text field is editing. First name. Insertion point at start.
And that drops us right into a new contact card, ready to put in that information to be able to quickly save it. That's a real time saver there. And there you have it. The one-finger triple tap. No longer forgotten, no longer ignored.
Promoted from private to legend in under 10 gestures.
Steady Vice Admiral Tapdiculus. Save some glory for the Files app.
Honestly, he's not wrong. Once you start using the triple tap regularly, it's hard to imagine navigating without it.
That's true. And best of all, you don't have to touch the rotor, not even once.
Thanks for listening, and as always, keep tapping, keep exploring, and we'll see you in the next lesson.